Hello, everybody. Today we are playing Black Ops 6 Liberty Falls, utilizing the SWAT 556. We're going to be just leveling it up, showing off some augments, all the good stuff, mostly just hanging out, vibing, having a good time. I do realize I started in third person. I know, zombies players, it's a little bit scary. Don't worry, we'll get there in time. Back to first person we go through now. Look, I don't like change very much. Look, before Black Ops 6 came out, I was still been playing Black Ops 2 Zombies, okay? Don't worry. We'll get there all in time, everybody. But speaking of not adapting to things, ooh, that Mike Tyson fight. Ooh. The reason I bring this up is specifically because of one comment that I saw on a Twitch channel I was watching before I started recording this morning. And it was that Mike Tyson could have beaten Jake Paul. Now, let me preface, I don't like the Paul brothers all too much. I don't know, I'm just not the biggest fan of them. And I do love me some Mike Tyson, but I don't think Mike Tyson, I think he did want to win. Look, I'm not saying it wasn't, I don't want to think it was rigged. I don't know. I'm going to assume it wasn't rigged. I don't think Mike Tyson just didn't want to win. Either it was rigged and they both wanted to kind of stall it out, or it wasn't and Mike Tyson wanted to win. I don't think that Mike Tyson was just paid off to lose, and I don't I think it's cope. I think it's coping. I think that, yeah, I don't like Jake Paul, but I can't deny that if I fought him, he'd beat the crap out of me. Like, that guy's in shape. Look at the guy. I mean, look at his neck, bro. His neck is huge. Both their necks are huge. Dude, the commentary on the fight was so funny. The one guy kept, I hate to say arguing, but they kept going back and forth about Mike Tyson's mouthpiece and biting the glove and everything. Look, I know, it was a early little thing there. Normally we talk a bit more about zombies first, and we will, don't you worry. But yeah, I think I'm gonna, ooh, hello there, zombies. I think my plan is going to be, dear goodness gracious, getting slapped every which direction right now. My plan's gonna be mostly, I want to swap between doing Black Ops 6 videos and just continuing what I've been doing with the older games where we do fun challenges on those. So I'm going to be trying to do a healthy mix. We'll see what the recording schedule will be, but I'm going to try to do some alternating. Probably, I don't know. I'm really excited for the new map. Look, the thing with the new map for me is it kind of goes back to Darice, where we were teased with the Paris map, because this is going to be a map in France, I believe. So we kind of had to cope and say Origins was the Paris map, right? But I'm pretty sure I'll run through all the zombies maps right now. I don't think we have a Paris one. The only one that could be Paris is if it was maybe Cold War and it's the Mauer. No Shot Mauer was in Paris, right? Which ones would I not be as familiar with? I guess Black Ops 4. do I consider Chaos? No, I can't consider Chaos, right? No shot I can consider Chaos storyline if they went to Paris, because this was Darice. This was far before Chaos was ever even considered to be a thing, right? So Black Ops 4, what did we have for the Aether story? We had Classified, then we had Remake, Nuketown Remake, we had Tag der Toten, was the Call of the Dead remake. I'm not very good with the names, but Nuketown Remake, Call of the Dead Remake, 5 Remake. Man, Black Ops 4 was a lot of remakes, eh? Black Ops 4 was a lot of remakes. What else did we have for ye old Aether crew? I'm brain farting, bro. I do not know. Regardless, I don't think we had any France map in Black Ops 4 for the Aether storyline. Then Cold War, we had what? Firebase Z. The first map was Die Machine, which was Kino. Firebase Z was Vietnam? Maybe? I can't remember exactly. Then what? We had Mauer and Forsaken, neither of which I don't think were in Paris and or France. So I'm really excited for the map. I'm pretty sure it's French because I saw a lot of people complaining about the name, to which the general response is, wow, you can't stand zombie names, like zombie map names in a different language? How have you possibly gotten this far? How? The first map was Nocturne Toten. The second map was Shino Numa. No, hold. Verrückt had perks. Shino Numa was the first map with perks. That means that Shino Numa was first. So Nocturne Toten, which was obviously German. Then Shinonuma, which is Japanese, maybe? I'm pretty sure. I think so. It's a Rising Sun facility. Rising Sun's Japanese, so gotta be Japanese. And then Verrückt is the German word for asylum, and Doris was the German word for iron machine, the factory, right? That's what it was in the code. The factory. ZM_map_factory. Is that it? Something like that? Something along those lines, maybe. Just maybe, baby, I just met you. That's such a weird tick of mine every time I say maybe. You could go back and watch a lot of my videos, and I say it quite frequently, and I think I got it from Northern Lion. Could be slightly incorrect in that. I know we've just been chilling in the spawn room here. I'm just getting some early points. I need to be focusing a little bit more on the critical kills, but what's it matter? Not going to be doing the Deadshot Easter egg today, but there is a fun little Easter egg to get Deadshot early in case you don't know. How many scrap do we have? 1,000? We could get an early ammo mod. Zoo-wee! Oh, I forgot some points early on with the, guess he died. I forgot some points early on that I can get up at the beginning of the spawn room, but that's a-okay. Don't actually care for the ammo mod right this very second. I did Prestige and I unlocked the Chopper Gunner. I think that's happened since last episode. I've not been like going giga hard with grinding. I tried playing the new PoE League and I'm iffy on it. It's not the best thing in the world to me. If you don't know, PoE is a game called Path of Exile. Basically, anyone you know who plays too many video games probably has played PoE. I've included a thing about the skill tree before, and it is insane. The big joke now is not just like, you tell people about this skill tree, and they see it, and they're like, what? That is insane. It's one of the craziest things. And then you're like, oh yeah, it's only one of two. There's two of them. Oh man, I do love me some PoE. I think we will end up building the jet gun and using that a little bit. I don't care to like go insanely hard with the like going for critical kills in these episodes. I do want it to like still be fun and just have a good time, but I figured like I've been mentioning about how I want to like try to get dark matter and stuff, but I don't particularly care to live stream. And a lot of people just said they'd be chill watching the videos of me using the guns, just hanging out, vibing, playing. So that's kind of what the plan is. I don't know really what else to do for Black Ops 6. I don't feel like, I mean, pistols only and stuff does hit hard. Don't get me wrong. Shotguns only will be cool or whatever, I guess, to an extent. But whenever you're using the assault rifles and SMGs and LMGs, can you really say like, ooh, assault rifle only zombies? It's like, wow, you're playing the game, which is kind of how I feel it is with every gun now, because pistols only, I don't know, pistols only in Black Ops 2 versus pistols only in Black Ops 6, it's a bit of a different story. You know what I feel? Although they did make them in Black Ops 6 rather crappy. at least the one I made the video on. Not a particularly huge fan of that. What's been going on in the wild world of the Baby It's a Wild World? The wild world of the Baby It's a Wild World. Man, it's like nothing too much. I mean, the thing is, if you say that you don't want to talk, which we're done politics. I had the 2 episodes where I mentioned very minor things, but if you say I don't want to talk about politics, nothing's really been going on lately besides the Mike Tyson fight. And look, I'm not gonna lie, hands up, called. I don't actually watch fighting, so I didn't watch the pre-card or the other fights. I don't know how the phrasing even is. I know that the women fighters who are boxers, or were they MMA or were they boxing? I'm not exactly sure. I assume they were all boxing, so we'll just say the women boxers went absolutely at each other. I saw their faces were like bleeding a lot. So apparently anyone who wanted violence that day got a pretty good fight, because I don't think was either Paul or Tyson bleeding. That's the one thing I thought was a little weird, how like neither of them caused much damage to you. Like, if you're gonna say it was rigged, I'd say that's the biggest thing, because like I don't know, I feel like I don't know, but I don't know anything about Mike Tyson's fighting. I know he bit off ears. Like I was rooting for Mike Tyson kind of off a name. I'm not gonna lie. His last professional fight was in like 2003, 2004, and then he's had some like little fights since then. We had a fight in 2020, and then I didn't grow up watching boxing, WWE. Well, I watched a little bit of WWE growing up, but I just didn't. So I've never seen the. I don't know. I know he normally knocks out people in the first round. So I imagine he doesn't normally get that bloody. I know he bit off a guy's, 2 guys' ear, maybe 1 guy's ear. I would have loved to be bit Jake Paul's ear, I'm not gonna lie. In those first 2 rounds, whenever Paul was giving the big old bear hugs, I would have loved to see a little nibble. Just a little nibble. It would have been funny. It would have been funny. I say, knowing that if I was the one getting my ear nibbled on, maybe I wouldn't be so happy. Maybe I wouldn't be so happy. Who knows? But, oh man. Let's go ahead, grab ye old Juggernog. I'm gonna loop back around, grab Speed Cola, Quick Revive. Want to do a little bit of a perk run, get the good stuff, get the stuff that makes it easier to play. Man, I remember whenever this game first came out, back in ye old days of Chex Clock a month ago-ish, while I was in New Zealand. I really hope there's a few of you guys who are like, wow, he was in New Zealand, really dedicated to the craft. But I was like, man, this game's so hard. And I think it is harder than a lot of COD games, zombies games in its own way, but it also nowadays just feels so easy. And it's a little boring. I won't lie. Like, even if I turn on the Rampage Inducer, which I can do here in just a moment, it's pretty easy to train with the Rampage Inducer so long as you just like utilize the verticality, because the zombies don't utilize it very well. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I do not know. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the Rampage Inducer so we can get through these rounds a little bit quicker. I did see a Reddit post about how gobble gums are. Man, there's so much like I want to know and look up and research, and I just haven't gone around to. But I know that gobble gums are time-based, so Rampage Inducer doesn't like reduce or increase the amount of gobble gums you get. XP doesn't. It's purely time-based, it seems. So feel free to run Rampage Inducer if it doesn't give you less XP. I know in Cold War it did, but I'm pretty sure that it doesn't in this game. I don't know. If anything, if you're just going for camos, Rampage Inducer would be best because you're looking at flat amount of kills. Because the assumption is that there are less zombies early, so you get more XP per zombie, and then later as there's more zombies, you know, you get less XP per zombie. I don't think that's the assumption, that's just how it works and how it has worked in these games. I wanted to get this Mangler, but now I'm getting all mixed up in my direction. We'll go ahead and pop this and kill him. I do love running Aether Shroud with 2 charges. It is quite good, very strong, recharges quite quickly. I just wish we had like Elemental Pop and Dead Shot. I hope that on the new map, could not tell you. Actually could not tell you whatsoever. But I do hope on the... Man, was Mauer in... Maybe we did have a map in the Catacombs, now that I think about it. Why do I feel like we had a map in the Catacombs? I really feel like we had a map in the Catacombs, but I'm just not getting there. Was it Mauer? Was it? I don't remember enough about Mauer other than it was just like a cityscape. But I'm pretty sure it was Mauer der Toten. I know der Toten is German, so was it maybe on the streets of Berlin? I don't want to go look at the codes. I've said this, I've said this a million times. I hate how on Terminus you just get to go to the cool, fun loot room, but on Liberty Falls you have to go get 3 codes. It's not that much work, but the difference between 0 work and 1 work is an infinite difference. The difference between having something never happen and having it have to happen, no matter how small of a chance, is an infinite increase. Because you can't multiply 0 times anything to get a number. People have a hard time understanding it. I try to explain this thing pretty often about how, like, in RPGs, we're going to use PoE as an example again, there's a concept called resistances. Resistances are very, very simple. Let's say you're going to take 100 fire damage, okay? You have 100 fire damage coming at you. You have 75 fire resist. That means you take 25 fire damage, okay? So 100 minus 75, 25. If I lost you in that part, click off the video. I don't know if you can't do 100 minus 75. You got your own struggles going on, big guy, okay? But then there's a thing where you can get max res. So normal, the resistance cap is 75, right? So that 100 damage becomes 25 damage. You have ways to get max resistance, which can increase that to 76, 77. But, and the thing is, people underestimate that because they're like, oh, it's just a 1% increase. What do I care about a 1% increase? Look at it from the other end. Every 1% max res, you are lowering the damage you take from 25 to 24. Okay? So that means that rather than reducing the damage from 100 by 1, you're reducing the damage from 25 times 1, meaning it is 4 times more effective. And this only goes up each time you get it. if you were able to get your max resistance from 75 to 80, you lower your damage taken, right, from 25 to 20. And again, you think, oh, it's only 5% more. What does that help? Because the difference from 25 to 20 is a 20% damage reduction. A flat 20% damage reduction to fire, which is a lot, right? That's what the initial 20% is for the fire damage. If you only have 20% fire resist and you take 100 fire damage, that's 80%. You take 80 damage. That's 20% damage. If you take 25 damage and you lower that to 20 damage, that's 20%. So those 5 max res each give substantially more value. People aren't able to like look at math from the other side, which is so frustrating whenever you have to explain anything in games with like semi-advanced like gearing systems and stat systems. It's like, what do I want max res for? Because you are lowering your damage taken by 20%, which is more than anything else almost will give you. It is insanely good. It doesn't give you diminishing returns. And if you can find a way to like lower that even more, get to 85%, hoo-wee, but I don't even know. I can't even remember off the top of that's possible. I think it is. I think you can get to like a 90%. 90% max res is so crazy because you're lowering that damage from 25. You're getting like another 50% damage, or you're getting over 50% damage reduction. I know. This is giga, like, I'll just say, this is giga nerd shit, okay? I know that. I embrace what I am. You won't see me hiding, scaring, like, no guys, I only play Call of Duty multiplayer. Like, no, you'll see me. Look, Path of Exile isn't the real game. The real game is a tool called Path of Building where you get to play with all the numbers. That's the fun part, okay? Look, if any of you ever, whenever I was growing up, I would hear about these really nerdy games, and I always wanted to try them. WoW was included in that. If any of you, and not necessarily growing up, but if any of you are like, man, I want to get into like a game I can really sink my teeth into, I can't recommend Path of Exile enough. It'll destroy your life and ruin everything you hold dear. It will, but man, it'll make you feel good while you do it. Oop, didn't mean to press that. Okay, Margwa, me boy, Abomination. I need to upgrade my weapon. Oh my gosh, we do have a lot of points. I don't even feel like pressured to use the points because it's not very hard. It's like, it's just not particularly difficult. I don't feel like I have to. You just run around, use some cars, jump a little bit. Zombies don't know how to jump, bro. You jump up here, you're fine. Jump over here, you're fine. They don't touch you. Jump up here, you're fine. I mean, you take a little bit of damage here and there, but like, who cares? It really, not that big of a deal. You get a good bit of distance on them. Do they run fast at you? Sure, just kill them first. Easy peasy. This is my issue with making videos on newer zombie games, because I don't know. I genuinely struggle. Like, if I'm doing, like, I'll tell you, if I'm doing Origins, pistols only, that's not, like, easy for me. I always, you can probably go look at all of my Origins challenges. I guarantee you, the majority of the time, I'd probably say 70% of the time, I die to the first Panzer, and I just say, using the pistol, using the P.A.K.A., using the Boomhilda, it gives me, why? Because it's hard. It's hard. Sometimes it feels downright impossible. You do a shotguns only challenge, it's Black Ops 2, you don't have enough points. You don't have enough points to be able to pack a punch. You just don't. Hit the freaking light post. El Toro! El Toro's bull, right? Or is it, what is it in, well, El Bort, I can, B-U-R-R-O, El Bureau. El Bureau. That's the mule kick one, right? I used to, man, my Nana was the best. My Nana would write down the songs for me. Whenever I was young, I asked her to write down, like, and I could have done this, but she was so amazing. She just did it for me. I love my Nana, but she would write down like the lyrics of the perk jingles for me so I could read them and learn them and like sing them and stuff. I've loved these games for a while. I remember I used to love singing Deathshot Daiquiri. To err is human, to forgive is divine, but I'm not forgiving any error of mine. I could keep going. They're not quite human, at least they're not in my eyes. I love it. I'm a real fan, boys. How many of you guys know the perk jingles almost by heart, okay? Oh, man. I love them. You understand, so I played, like, the game I really got into zombies would have been, also, I'm just running around. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. I need to go pack a punch. I need to get ammo. But the zombies game I really got hooked on, and I had to go back and play the older ones, but Black Ops 2 is what really got me in it. I was like 11, 12 years old whenever it came out, and I loved it. So whenever I went to go back, and I heard like the PhD flopper jingle, I was like, man, this stuff hits. And I don't know. I love music. Always have loved music. I'm in a little bit of a problem here in terms of armor and stuff. I'm just, honestly, the biggest issue right now is just I'm playing stupid. I'm playing really stupid. And if I just played a little bit smarter, we would not be in any trouble whatsoever. But we need to, like, actually go upgrade our gear and stuff. We need tier 2 armor. We need to get, I know there's armor right here, but I'm going to loop through over here and grab it. Or what am I going to do? I wanted to actually go through over that way, but I think I walked past the door I wanted to go through. Can I make my way back through? I hear zombies coming this way now. No, we're going to have to loop around. So do we want to go this way, or do we want to go this way, loop around? I think we're going to go this way, loop around, open up some doors, grab tier 2 armor. And I know we could have got tier 2 armor in the quick revive room. No. Yeah, this is a... Oh, I didn't even open this yet. Open that up. Do we have the roof open? Yes. No. Now I do. Okay, we got that done. No armor at the moment. We do have some ammo, so that's nice. I was talking about something earlier. It has now slipped my mind. Also, I should not have grabbed that. Grabbing that was a mistake that probably will cause us to go down. Depends if the door stops us. It did not stop us, therefore we are good. Don't have to worry as long as you don't get slowed down. But the moment you get slowed down, that's whenever the slaps come in. You go for... Look. The hardest part about running faster than light is you live in the darkness. Okay? Let's make the... I am taking so much damage just trying to run around. That's the one thing about the Rampage mode that is slightly infuriating. And not infuriating, it's good, right? It should be that way, but... I really don't like the graphics of this game. I wish the performance of this game was just a little bit better. I've been so frustrated performance-wise. I don't have the latest GPU drivers, so maybe that'll fix it. Maybe I need to get those, but... man. Okay. Where are we? Oh, you know the good thing? If let's say a hypothetical schedule, which I'm not saying I'm going to follow, I'm just saying a hypothetical schedule, is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Black Ops 6, Tuesday, Thursday, older COD games, right? Is once we have 3 maps, I can just do like Monday's Liberty Falls, Wednesday's Terminus, Friday is the Los, no, well, I was going to say Los Muerto, but okay, so Spanish and French are both Romance languages, so they both have like that feel to them, that vibe of, ooh yeah, this came from Rome. Not that it's romantic. Romance language means it comes from Roman origin, Latin origin, I suppose. But I don't remember the exact. I was gonna say Los Muertos, but I think that was a map in. What game was that the map in? Modern Warfare 3? Modern Warfare 2? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not enough in the scene anymore, okay? God, I don't know. I do want to play a little bit of multiplayer. I know Nuketown is back right now, and I say this knowing that it won't be for very long, but we are at the beginning of Season 1 as I'm recording these. So I do know that. I want to get the new guns unlocked, but I know you unlock this in the Battle Pass. I don't... Ever since they made it to where it was like some weird map and everything, I stopped paying attention. I like whenever it followed a straight line. I don't know if I get it now. Or do you have to pay for the guns, or can you unlock the guns for free in the Battle Pass? Because I know whenever it first started, you only got the guns in, I think, I could be wrong. I think you only got the guns in the paid Battle Pass, and then you had to, like, the next season, it was in Modern Warfare 2019, I think. The next season, you could just get, like, 5 rapid kills with SMGs, or play 20 matches with SMGs or something, you'd unlock it, right? Something along those lines. Man, I do want to hit, like, I do want to level up fast and everything. The thing is, I want to play the zombies more, but it's kind of... I'm not saying it's boring. Let me make that clear. I'm not saying it's boring, but I'm saying I don't know how often I can run the same loop without any challenge, per se. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm making myself entirely clear here. Did we ever end up, like, killing the Abomination, or did he just, like, disappear? Let me go buy tier 2 armor. I have opened this up. I'm a little nervous because I'm kind of getting myself trapped in here. And I don't have any of my get out of jail free cards, which, if I've not made myself clear, the get out of jail free cards are rather nice. What you guys been up to? Tell me in chat. Come on, guys. Where's all my chatter? The joke, by the way, is that I don't live stream these. That's the joke there, because I've talked about this before. I feel bad saying this. I don't hate what I'm about to say, okay? I don't hate this person. I love Northern Lions content, but there is a difference from whenever he was recording directly for YouTube, which I know he's recorded some direct for YouTube stuff, and whenever he uploads VODs from his live stream. There's a different vibe. There's a different energy. One of them I feel like he's directly talking to me. One of them I feel like he's talking to chat. Okay? And if you're not part of chat, it's hard to feel engaged with it. It is. It is. That's all I'm saying. You know what I need? I need to, like... I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a little book. Okay. Chill. Content creators, little books. I'm just saying there's probably not a good correlation there, okay? But I need to make... I need to keep a... Man, it is... hard to have. I need to keep a note. Ooh, Margwa. I know it's an abomination. It's not a Margwa, but let's be honest. It's just a. They just wanted to do Margwas again. Okay, like let's call a spade a spade. Just like the Dryson Drac Panzer in this guy. Like it's not that different of a thing we got going on here. To be fair, they do operate differently. But like, are you really gonna look at this and tell me this isn't derivative of derivative of a Margwa? You can't. I'm sorry. If you're going to look at me in the face and tell me that's not derivative of Margwa, I'm not saying it's the exact same thing, okay? But if you're going to tell me that's not derivative, I've got some snake oil to sell you, brother. It's a cure-all if I've ever seen one. Zooey mama. You know, I used to be like you. But how's it go? Try to remember the exact phrasing. With the little rusties and a whole lot of luck, you too can be like me. Ka-chow. I will say this. Unrelated. I know we're jumping back and forth. If I ever do end up live streaming, which I'll be honest, that isn't like eventually I want to, and I've been iffy on that and kind of I chicken around it, but I would love to eventually live stream. I really would. I want to do community movie nights so bad. That'd be like my #1 thing I want to do if I'm live streaming. Screw any other part of it other than once I have a community, like while I'm live streaming. Like if I ever consistently had a few hundred viewers, boys, we would be doing all kinds of movies. We're gonna be watching Shrek 2 Happily Ever After. Please tell me that's the name of it, or I'm gonna be pretty embarrassed. Me and the wife actually... Excuse me, the coffee decided to come back up a little bit. Me and the wife recently watched Shrek 1 because she never actually had watched it growing up very well. So we rewatched it, and it's hilarious, man. Shrek 1 is so funny. I love those movies, man. One of my favorite things is I have a Quest 3, and I have a admittedly semi-complicated setup. It was a bit of a hassle getting set up. It costed a little bit of money, not just for the Quest 3, but like for the app. I think the app itself was like 20 or 30 bucks, but I can watch like Blu-ray 3D movies in it, and they're like really high quality and really nice, and it is to me by far the best way to watch 3D movies. So I've been trying to like, how do I word this? I've been trying to find a copy of Cars Blu-ray 3D, but it is very hard to find that. If you go try to buy it, it basically doesn't exist anymore. Like it is, they did not make many. Cars 2, Cars 3, easy peasy to find, but Cars 1 can't find. And I know how, look, there's a point where you have to say, okay, maybe I'm not a stereotypical adult. Maybe I like watching the shows I grew up with. Maybe it's a little comforting to me. You know what I have to say to you? I'm actually going to enjoy watching shows with my kid, okay? You know what I have to say? I don't have to pretend to enjoy it. I sit that girl down, and I'm like, we're going to watch some Cars, and you are going to learn. You are going to be well cultured as you grow up. Dude, I remember as a kid, I was like, when do people start liking, you know, like, live action stuff? I want to see cartoons and stuff. And I'll be the first to say I don't watch anime very much. I try. God knows I try. God knows I talk about it in videos. I just don't watch it very much. But I love watching old animated movies. I really, really, really do. I think one of my most embarrassing moments, I'm not gonna lie, is embarrassing. And I'll explain it. I'll stand by it. But my buddies in college, we're all watching. Oh, it's embarrassing. I can't remember the name. Any other day, you ask me the name, I know the name. It's the anime movie with, it's like the one, man. It's like the one that's like super pretty and they're on like motorcycles. I hope you know what I'm talking about, but it's regarded as like being one of the most beautiful animated movies of all time. I completely acknowledge the background scenery is amazing. Is it Kira? Is it? But I feel like it's not, but I'm also like, no, it's definitely Kira. Oh man, I don't know off the top, but it's the background scenes are so beautiful. Akira, it's Akira. I can't get past the faces. I can't get past the faces. The faces are so tough for me to look at. I feel bad saying I can't get past it. I can't. So I was like, this movie looks like crap. And that was me kind of being one reaction. I won't lie. Sometimes you say things to poke and prod a little, okay? But the thing is, look, you can, I'll tell you, you can poke and prod and be a little annoying, get a little bit of reaction on your finger, but as long as you're willing to take it. I gotta be careful how I say this. I don't know how, ooh, Dying Wish saved me. I don't know how best to say it, but you know, Apothos had to take it a bit more than everybody else in the friend group because Apothos like dishing it out a little, okay? I hope my mic's not getting screwed up. I'm like really physically moving as I'm talking here, so I'm bobbing me head a bit. But, man, let me tell you, back in college, I really had to take it back then, but no, I mean, that's the trade-off, right? If you want to be someone who makes jokes and like, you know, tries to provide a little bit of a contrary opinion. You're not, let's make it clear, there's a difference between providing a contrary opinion or something and being an a-hole, okay? No one likes an a-hole. A-holes are miserable to be around. I've also heard that term's French. Sorry, Call of Duty players. The joke there is people will curse and then say, sorry, pardon my French, at least in the area where I live. I don't know if that's, you know, region specific, but I'll never get my, my brother growing up, he was driving me to school. He was a few years older than me, and he one time was talking about how stupid something was, and I think at the time he was probably 16, I was probably 13, 14, I can't remember the exact age difference to be entirely honest with you, but he was like, it's effing stupid, and he looked at me and was like, pardon my French, which was very funny to me considering, well, not at the time, but my parents curse like sailors, so, and I won't lie, in high school, so that story happened whenever I was in middle school. I'm just taking so much damage. I need to turn off the Rampage Inducer. I'm taking way too much stupid damage here, and it's like stalling the rounds a lot. We're going a lot slower because of the stupid damage I'm taking. We're going to go up here and turn off the Rampage Inducer right quick. These rounds would be going a lot quicker without it. It's a mixture of the Rampage Inducer and I'm just talking. But yeah, I definitely in high school cursed a little too much, but I know it's off topics a lot, but I've been having a good time. We are going to go to around 26-ish, I think. I think that'll be a good time. And then I definitely want to record a Terminus video today. I have plans, like, I genuinely have a list of plans for both older COD games and newer ones. It's just getting through these, like, assault rifles and LMGs is a little tough whenever it comes to... Plus, I don't know how to make thumbnails for this game, man. My normal way of making thumbnails relies a bit on, like, mods or develop commands. So I kind of have to go through and make thumbnails via not in-game images and stuff, because it's pretty dang difficult to get the in-game stuff. It's a lot more of a hassle than it is in other COD games for the thumbnails. So I've been trying to, like, I'll just say I've been trying to, like, take inspiration from other creators and how they do it, and it's not working well for me. I'm not even talking about, like, necessarily in terms of performance. It's just I'm not satisfied with it. You guys click on it less, which is fine. It's just because normally it's pretty. I feel like I'm normally pretty, like, in tune, where if I think a thumbnail's good, it usually ends up doing rather well. So it's like those two things go together. It's not like, oh man, this thumbnail is amazing, I don't understand why you guys don't like it. It's like, no, I also agree, it's not really my style. It's just not. Alright, let's not punch the Mingler. I thought it'd be funny, and then I realized it was merely an effort and futility. I've not been upgrading my rarity. My god, what is wrong with me today? I never forget that. Like, genuinely, I've not been forgetting that at all. That's gonna increase my damage by so much. You know, once I can actually shoot the gun. Gotta run. You are a stompy little boy, aren't you? Stomp, 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 stomp. But yeah, I wanna get that figured out. I have some really fun and original challenge ideas. I will say this: I have some really fun and original challenge ideas on the older games that the moment I can figure out how to do them, it's going to be really good. And like that's just me fully saying that. Like if I can figure out how to, because I have to make my own mod for it. Flat out, I have to make my own mod. It is, I don't think, at the minimum I have to have a script running on my computer to automatically do button inputs. Because it's going to be either a mod that does it or an automated system that will be inputting commands via the developer console automatically. And I don't want to say more than that. But if I can figure out how to have a program on my computer automatically press tilde command tilde in a very, 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 very short period of time, because it'll have to disable my keyboard, or a mod itself can run it in the background without having to do all the typing and everything. But I don't know how exactly it works. I don't even know if that's possible. I've been trying to figure it out with my buddy. Then Black Ops 6 came out and they got pushed back a little bit. But now that we're going to be going back to recording some of the older videos, I definitely want to get it figured out. And my Black Ops 6 ones, I mean, it's just, I need ideas, man. I'm not the kind of guy who uploads guides. It's just not what I do. It really is. I've never been interested in that kind of thing. It seems, to me, miserable. It just does. It doesn't seem like fun. I want to play the game, man. I like showing off things. I like showing off the things that the guides cover in my gameplay, you know? But the thing is, I'm not the guide guy. I'm happy to show someone how to do something, but it's just not me. It simply is. I think I've tried a few times, maybe, question mark. I don't even know if I had, to be entirely honest. Now, this stuff oh man, this combo's OP and stuff, that's my stuff, because that's playing a game, showing something off, etc., right? Try to dodge these projectiles. So many Mangler projectiles. I don't think Manglers are as big of an issue as the community makes them out to be, but I'm also the reason I say that is purely because the community whines and, pardon my upcoming French, but bitches and moans about literally everything in the game, it feels like. Oh my, the community, and look, I'm not saying they're always wrong or anything, but I've been very pronounced against, I mean, whenever the game first came out, I'm pretty sure I talked about him, not whenever Black Ops 4 first came out, but I've talked about in Black Ops 4 how the issue in the end rounds is how many, elite zombies and stuff there is, and how it's miserable to play. I just think in this game, I don't know, it doesn't happen as early in this game as it does in Black Ops 4. It's not as miserable to me early in this game. I don't have it as big of it. The Manglers go down typically pretty, not too bad, up to 30s and 40s right now. 40s to 50s, I don't play there in my casual rounds. You're going for high rounds, different ball game. Not my area of expertise. I did it whenever I was younger. I don't care to do it that much anymore because I don't know. It's not rewarded, right? Is there a challenge, an achievement for going to round 100? I would maybe do that for every map it was on, but beyond that, it's not good for XP. You know, I guess you can farm out camos, but then how much are ballistic guns really able to kill? That's another thing. People shouldn't expect ballistic guns to be able to kill everything up to those rounds. You don't try to go to round... I'm trying to think of a good map to explain this on. Yeah, I mean, let's say you're going... Oh, man, Buried has the traps. Origins. I think Origins is a good enough round, but Origins has the Boomhilda, so we're going to have to word it like this. You don't try to go to round 100 on Origins if you're not using Ray Gun Mark II, Boomhilda, Ray Gun, or Staff. Honestly, Staff is the main thing there, but you can do it with the other ones. You're not trying to go to round 100 using, you know, the upgraded MG42, although I do love that gun ricochets. I kind of just want to, you know what I'm going to do? I might make a video called, you guys are going to see this, and you're going to see it upload, a few days later. What would I title it? Something along the lines of, this mechanic was forgotten in Black Ops 2, ... and it's about the MG42 having literal ricochet. Yeah, that gun here there, ricochet. Ricochet, and then me and my boy are gonna make some paper mache for the Christmas decorations. But yeah, MG42 got that ricochet. It's got ricochet. Ricochet. Why do I feel like I'm saying it wrong? I see the word in my brain. It's the same system as the same word as the Call of Duty. I sound stupid. Ricochet. I'm just, something's not leveling out right in my mind. Is it are you supposed to say ricochet? Ricochet? Ricochet. Oh yeah, have you been down to Ricochet's pawn shop? And I'm trying to think of a way to make a joke about O'Shea being an Irish surname without sounding blatantly racist. It's hard, it's hard. How do you make How do you make a joke about someone's racial identity without it being racist? No, it's okay. They're white. It's fine. sorry. pulls NECA shirt. Man, being a content creator is tough, huh? Looks at cards, can't be racist, can't steal content, should not message fans. All I'm saying is, if you are a content creator, there are very few situations you should message a fan. Honestly, the primary one is if you're like wanting them to be one of your mods. And if you have like DMs with your mods, different story, right? Because then it's like they're a part of it, right? Different story entirely. But if you're just like DMing random fans, I don't know about that one, Super Chief. I don't know. Like, and if they DM you and you reply, different story, right? Like, that's fine. I am talking purely like you're saying, hey, yo, what you doing? You know, and it's like, I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should do that. maybe I'm wrong. The idea of ever messaging a fan first for anything non-business related makes me want to vomit because I can't think of a good reason. I can't. Everything bad starts with that and nothing good does. I can't think of any reason I would ever message a fan other than like, hey, you've been an active member of the channel, you're gonna be part of the mod team. And I would, that's the only reason I really think of it. Then they're my mod, then you go, look, mods aren't necessarily friends, but I think it's ignorant to say that someone who you work with consistently and like you interact with on a level, like I think Ludwig and some of his mods are like friends. You know what I mean? Like I think that then it's a bit different. It's like you are promoted from viewer to part of the channel in a sense now, and I chose you because you have a personality that is not entirely hostile to my own, and I think we could work well together. You know, like hey, I'll be parasocial. I'll say I think mods can become friends because it's like it's entirely different dynamic. Then it is entirely different. I say that knowing that it opens up like gateways for weird parasocial viewers to want. It's kind of weird, right? Because anyone who like is super, well, I don't want to say that. It's hard to put it together. It's hard to. Oh man, my aim there was not the best, eh? But it's hard to find the words I'm really looking to say. Isn't that a song? Every emo punk romance song ever. It's hard to find the words that I wanna say, but I tell you if you listen to me, baby. And I'll tell you that obviously was not an emo punk tune, but it was the only tune that came to my head, and then I don't know. Man, can I want to make. How do I say this? I have talked before about how, you know, I may undiagnosed, but I'm pretty sure, right? And I'm saying, if I ever had like an autism test, I think Doug had one. It came back negative. And he started showing like, guys, bad news. I failed my autism test. If I ever like had an autism test, and they were like, yeah, you've got a little bit of something in you, I would constantly. And I mean, every time I make a stupid joke, guys, I'm autistic. You can't make fun of me. It's just like that's my personality. The only reason I don't do it for like ADHD, well, I do say like I'm ADHD. You have to forgive me, but like, is because it's not. People just say they're ADHD and it annoys me. I've talked about this so much, but people are just like, I'm ADHD. And they're like undiagnosed, but I'm pretty sure, but they do it because they think it's cool and trendy. I don't think anybody wants to be autistic, right? It's like, it's more so of, I recognize in myself that I share some similarities, not similarities, similarities with traits of autism. So I think it's just what I would do. I would love if I if I had it. I'm not saying I would love that, but if I had it, I would definitely make jokes about it because it's an easier thing to make jokes about than ADHD, which I do have, because people don't like hearing that kind of joke because it understandably pisses them off because it's like, oh, everyone and their mom has ADHD, you know. I had a dream. That like before pharmacies would give you like your Adderall medication, you had to like provide to them proof of your diagnosis and everything. And I was like, thank God I have a 14-page document where I underwent like significant mental testing to I went through this miserable process. Meanwhile, I know people who like just went online and got, and I'm not saying it's an invalid diagnosis or anything of the sort, but I'm saying that I definitely think that a lot of people did get diagnoses without going through the testing I did. Whatever conclusion is reached from there, right? But I was like, man, thank goodness I actually went through all the testing. But yeah, if I had autism, I'd make jokes about it all the time. And let me make it clear, I wouldn't do it at the expense of anybody, okay? Let's make that clear. I wouldn't be like, it would not be derogatory. It'd be like, I make stupid joke, or I talk for a significantly long period of time about highly niche thing, right? And then I'm like, guys, I'm autistic. And I know, content creator justifying making jokes about technical mental disability, but I think that's a bit better than people using it as an insult. Or all I'm saying is there's a little word that starts with R, ends with D, and I'm not talking about rest and develop, I don't know. But there's a little word that's been coming back into popularity, and I think that if you're autistic and you say like a nerd joke and you're like, I know, yeah, autism, you know, that's better than just calling somebody, you know, well noted and regarded in a community. You know, that's all I'm saying. I think it's not as bad. If we want to hop on the Apothos cancel train, because I recognize maybe I have a little bit of autism, and if I was diagnosed, I would make sure. I say this, and meanwhile, again, Doug, one of my favorite content creators, came on stream and was like, guys, I failed my autism test. I'll get it next time. And what I'm saying is no different than that, okay? Let's make that clear. This was a fun one. This was a fun one. I had a lot of time. I got a big old smile on my face. I'm excited to hop into Liberty Falls one, but then I'm going to actually be playing Liberty Falls and be disappointed about it. How many critical kills did I get? Evac ain't happening. Yeah, I hear you, but can I see? Not the worst ratio I've ever seen. Try to get the chopper in a bit more before I call in me chopper gunner. That way my chopper gunner spawns on the left side or on the right side. It's a better viewing angle. That's what I've seen can cause it. If you call in your chopper gunner too soon, your chopper gunner spawns on the other side, which can cause a bit of a nuisance regarding the angle. But man, Apothos make a video where he doesn't talk about autism or a schedule. Challenge level, impossible. You know, I say this like, and I wouldn't blame people if they thought that I was like a bad person, but all of my jokes are made with like the best of intentions, and I would never make a joke about something that, like, if I was that thing, I wouldn't feel comfortable with, you know. And yeah, it doesn't matter. But there's the vermin. I was wondering where the little guy was. That didn't feel good to say. There's that vermin. That one didn't feel right. But guys, we'll hold off for the exfil scene. But I had a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and hold. Wait for it. Wait. Have a good one, everybody. Take it easy.